1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz.
Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy Hickins.
Associated with this bishop or priest, Saint Valentine. Many of those remains were then, as often happens in this kind of situation, circulated amongst various, I think they're called reliquaries, where relics are stored, sort of churches. And it's believed that there are some of these relics in Dublin, actually in England, in France, in Scotland. So they're well spread, again, from this basic view that this is Saint Valentine. But I think the original man is the one that is considered to be that. Yeah, I think, as Dan said, the actual, the feast of Valentine, St. Valentine's, was started in the 8th century. But in the 14th century, so 600 years later, on the Chronicles of Narnia, I'm sure we've all heard of that, there was C.S. Lewis wrote about a parliament of owls. And I think that, the bird, the owls, I think a group of them is called a parliament. Well, a poet, Chaucer, wrote a poem at that time called Parliament of Fowls, which might resonate with, not to get political, but a Parliament of Fowls might resonate with us as what's going on in our country today. But that's another story. But this Parliament of Fowls, this brilliant poem, it actually talked about on February the 14th, in the language of Chaucer in that time, that was the date and the time that birds chose their mates. And I think he really meant birds of the feather variety rather than the human variety. But of course, it then became linked together. So on the February the 14th is the time when birds, both human and feathered, choose their mates for the future. So it's all kind of intertwined with this original, almost religious basis. And it's become a bit commercial, but in my view, it's a fairly harmless. It's a bit light-hearted and maybe a bit frivolous. But so what? Don't we need as much light-heartedness and frivolity as we can get these days? So that's some sort of basis to adding on to the things that Dan said about it as well. So. Yeah, that's St. Valentine. As to where Cupid comes into all of that, I won't really venture anything into that at this point, but I'm sure there's some relevance with that.
Yeah. Well,
just to add on to what Trevor said there, he was absolutely right. So when when Valentine of Rome was arrested and held in the 3rd century, it was stated that he actually restored the sight of the daughter of his jailer. And before they sent him to his execution, he gave him, what I'm presuming would be papyri. That scribed on it. It said, "Your Valentine," which he handed to him before he was executed. And so Valentine of Rome was a priest, martyred in 269, and he was buried on the Via Flaminia, which is an ancient road between Rome and Apennine Mountains, to Rimini is the modern version, on the coast of the Adriatic Sea, which went through many other places: Etruria, Latrium, Campania, and Po Valley. I wanted to mention them because I think if you look at the starting points of those words, like comp, for example, as in companion, or lat as in Latin, I think so. I'm massive on English and old English texts. And
we're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor Gear and Emmy Higgins.
The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deep Stuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us. Please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deep Stuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.
Wednesday afternoon. Hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. The leader of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything Cuz does. And fund the aim of everything Cuz does.